Hi guys, I'm here with Chris to do a playthrough on the Fireforge level of Lightseekers. We've been promising that we'd show you some more gameplay, and today is that day.
Yep.
So can you tell us a bit about Fireforge, sort of initially, Chris?
Yeah, so Fireforge is one of the few dungeons, well, I say few, one of the many dungeons we've got in the game. So it's a it's mainly a combat experience with bosses along the way, mini-bosses leading up to a final boss. The dungeons tend to be themed around an order. So Fireforge is themed around the mountain order, so you've got Earth, Crystal and Fire. And as you see, the bosses will have different mechanics, there's stuff to collect on the way, we'll have dungeon quests, repeatable content is on its way as well. But for now I think we're just going to do a run through and talk about combat as we go, some of the personalisation, customisation, boss mechanics and stuff like that.
And of course it is still work in progress.
Oh yeah, very much so,
yeah. Anything that seems odd or straight, anything that seems not quite right is clearly because it isn't final.
Yeah.
So, cool, shall we get this underway then, Chris?
Go for it.
Okay.
So
this is Fireforge.
Yeah, and as you can see here, the old quest system's here, but I can pick up a few quests there. So I got some quests to kill all the bosses in Fireforge, and I've got a quest to kill some specific big bad guys along the way as well.
Awesome. So of course these are the Umbron.
Yeah, so the Umbron are the main sort of bad guys of the game. These purple guys here, they come in all sorts of flavours. It's just getting started, getting in a bit more easily here, just killing these guys.
So what are those things that you're picking up?
Yeah, so pickups. So we've got combat pickups along the way. Obviously you have loot, so the chest is an item that the NPCs have dropped for me. I can check that later in my inventory. Or they'll drop combat pickups, so they come in 4 different flavours. Oh, some coins there as well. So they come in health, which is the green one you might see. There's a red one. The red one's a damage boost for about 10 seconds, and that stacks up. So if I find more and more, it'll get stronger and stronger. The green one there, health, you can see I've got a little health chunk there. Oh, another one. And then the blue one is spells. There's a rarer one as well, which is the yellow one, which is a big gleaming XP icon, which unsurprisingly gives a little XP chunk as well.
So that's some more coins there, yeah?
Yeah, coins generally drop all the time.
So tell us a little bit about the ability system and how that works.
Yeah, so the ability system is very flexible. Obviously we have powers, spells, abilities, whatever you know them as. And then you can slot them on your bar down here at the bottom, and you can choose which ones suit your playstyle. There's lots to get, and you can get them primarily through leveling up, but we'll have a few other interesting ways to unlock them as well. Talents, obviously, we have talent points which tweak abilities to do a bit more what you might want them to do, as well as talent points when you've spent certain amounts. They also unlock new abilities. So they come from. Oh, there's an XP one.
Cool.
Yeah.
So who are these guys here?
So these are the Umbron Crushers. They're just a bit more. They're a bit tougher.
A bit heavier.
A bit more damage. I've got a lot of good gear on at the moment, so I can talk to you while I'm playing. But they also do have a special attack there. You can see stun me. Yeah, so I'm a bit stunned a bit there, so I've got to keep my health under control a little bit.
So obviously using these abilities are what drain your blue, kind of like
exactly.
Magic.
Most spells or abilities cost the mana spell power. You stun me again.
Just get stunned all over the place. For
exactly. Yeah. So that's their thing, isn't it? Then we head up onto the airship here. This is our first boss, Commander Ground Pound. So I go in the area. I'm in here now until I die or I beat him. Shouldn't be a problem. So if we get started, so he has a few special attacks. This one being the first one, smashes the ground.
So that's like an ultimate ground smash there, a bit like
exactly.
those last guys.
Living up to his name, he ground pound. He pounds the ground. If you get caught in it, you take a fair bit of damage. He also has another attack where you might see it shortly. There you go. So he's swirling. If you might notice already, he's swinging way faster.
Yeah.
Does more damage. So that's a good time to stun him. And now he's running the clock out there. So I've got a little bit of breathing time, and I've messed up his attacks. Now when he smashes, he's got a chance to spawn those ads. So now we've got ads, NPCs that come and fight for him.
What's an ad, Chris?
Just another monster that joins the fray. So he's got a healer there, which I want to deal with first, the Crystal Weaver. I'm going to take this Flame Slinger out because I just don't want that damage coming in. Heal up with the ability along the way. Oh, got a nice little damage bonus pick up there.
So whilst we're taking this guy on,
going to stun him to break that attack. Yeah.
Tell us a bit more about the ability bar. Obviously, I can see that you've got abilities here that have almost like an electrical surge running out to them. What's the deal with that?
Yeah, so I'll get to that in a second. Actually, I'll first explain what the abilities are I've got here today. So I've got Bounce Bomb, this first one, which is just straight up damage. I've got Explosive ability, the second one there, which is sort of like a frontal cleave that I can use consistently. It doesn't do mass damage, but I can use it frequently. The third one, as you might have guessed from the icon, is a Healy one.
Yep.
The fourth one I've touched on, which is currently lit up with this beam you talked about a second ago, is Freeze Time, and that stuns the target. And the last one, I don't know if you saw it before, but it's called Bounce Bomb. If you watch, Oh, okay, it didn't bounce that time. But there's a chance that it bounces between enemies, and it's awesome because there's actually no limit.
So
there's a chance it can just bounce between an entire group and kill the lot. I think the highest we've seen is about 8 bounces. Benny got really lucky on some groups.
And that's completely random, is it?
Yeah, but I mean, generally you'll see it bounce.
Yeah.
There you go. It doesn't really help when I'm really close.
No, I was about to say
he's gonna stun him there. These two at the bottom. That's to do with the figure. So the toy can have weapons equipped, as we've talked about before. This would be my shield ability, which is like damage reduction or like defensive based. This is my nitro slam ability, which is AOE. You can see I hit the little ad on the side there as well as the main target, Commander Ground Pound.
And those will obviously change with whatever weapon you've got equipped.
Precisely, yeah. So if I equip it, so if I borrow Cora's weapon and put it on Jax, he'll get that ability down the bottom there as well.
And how often do those abilities become available? Because obviously these ones here are on clearly on a visual refresh.
Exactly, yeah. So they've got cooldowns. So they have a similar sort of cooldown approach, but it's not. It's just a straight up sort of time based thing.
Right. Okay.
And that'll be based on the weapon and its power and its ability. So.
And you can of course level those weapons up, can't you?
You can equip them core stones, light stones, and make them as powerful as we talked about before. I think as on the Kickstarter page and the web page now. We've got this whole system of in-depth weapon customization through these light stones. Sorry, not just weapons, it's gear as well.
So ground pounds
down, there. And you can see the barriers have dropped. I'm free to proceed. I don't think I'm going to die at the moment, but let's not place my bets quite yet. But if you die, there's no real loss. Everything you've killed up to the point you died will stay dead.
Right. Okay.
And all you've got to do is just run back, and we'll probably introduce a checkpoint system as well, so to lower the run as well. So the thing you asked me about before ground pound and I ran through the abilities is the combo system. People who've been watching might have seen the bottom right there. I've now got a big bomb. I'm just going to activate it now so I can talk about how I got it.
In trouble.
Well, yeah, they're dead. So combos are really powerful moves that you can get from scanning in Lightseekers cards, as well as a few other ways in-game as well. And you basically charge them up. So you can see here, I've got Smart Bomb is on its way. I know that because I know that. We're actually going to change how that looks at the bottom right as well. But at the moment it requires an explosive ability, and anything with that glow around it is an explosive ability. So you can see these lines you're talking about. Oh look, it's just changed to time.
Yep.
I only have one time on my bar, so I'm going to tap that now. And you can see that the multiplier goes up by 1 every time I match the icon. See, right now, because of the way I built this character, I don't have a lot of time ability, so I've only got that one. It's gone to mechanical.
Mechanical.
So I've got that one, and I've got mechanical down on my weapon, so it's a bonus one from having the figure.
Okay, so your weapon does count towards those.
Yes, they have an element as well. So you can see I'm now on ×5 multiplier, which means this little green bar, if you watch around the outside there, is slowly creeping up. It creeps up with time, but it also creeps up when you use abilities and fight. So basically, the higher the multiplier, the quicker it's going to get round. So if I just keep matching the icon, and obviously trying to stay alive and not waste abilities, you can see it's still on explosives, but I'm on ×10 now already.
And what if it switches to a different kind of set? It doesn't matter if you're using an ability from a different group, does it? It just doesn't help to build that multiplier?
Like I said, it's still build, but you can make it build faster by playing this little game down the bottom here, by tapping the ones that match. So I'm out of combat now, so my multiplier is slowly going to creep down, so I don't want to lose it.
I was going to say, how does it? Is it just whilst out of combat?
Yeah, exactly.
Increase?
So I'm going to jump back into combat now. So you can see I only lost ×1 there, so I'm back down. I'm down to ×12, but that's still pretty high.
So onto some a new enemy type.
Yes, this is a new boss. I'm thinking of two things right now. So obviously I'm playing a bit more advanced here. So I'm thinking about my combo multiplier going up. I'm also thinking, I'm aware that I need to do Wrathshard's mechanics. So he's going to spawn a little mine, and I need to blow up the mine, which is going to cost me health. So I've got to balance my health. There you go. I'm going to stun him, which is a time ability. So it's stunned him, so he's not going to spawn his mine. But it was also matching the combo. So I have increased my combo multiplier as well. So it's on mechanical now, so I don't really mind about that.
So you're starting to build that combo up quite quickly now.
Exactly, yes. It's nearly there. It's 3/4 of the way there. Gonna just keep my health high, and then keep using these abilities, trying to get that combo multiplier up in the background. Because obviously you can have more than one combo in combat. So when I've used one, there's another one after it. So I want to keep that multiplier high, so the next one comes in quicker, and then it comes in quicker.
Yeah.
And on long boss fights, you can really just unload them all. So there's Smart Bomb. It's ready now. I'm going to use it right now. Boom. And it's basically nearly killed him. So at the moment I only have one combo for this playthrough. Obviously we have like 3 to 5 on average, so it's run out of combos. They refresh when combat ends, so after this boss is dead. So there you go, it's gone back to time, and it's ready to give me another combo.
So how many combos can you have equipped to your character in one go?
It's something we're still playing around with. We're saying 3 to 5, but we can increase that when we like the system, obviously. And we don't want to make it something that's hidden away, so we'll probably make it. We'll take feedback on that, and we'll see how it feels. Like we know that we want some more.
Yeah. And obviously this bar of your abilities you can build out in the style of your choosing.
Oh, exactly.
But you obviously want to kind of juggle between having the different...
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you choose which combos will appear as well, so that's something else you can customise.
Okay,
so if you know you only have combos that require explosives and mechanical, that might mean, don't bother any time abilities at all.
Yeah.
Or maybe, when a time ability appears, you just don't charge the multiplier for that that run. It will change after about 10 seconds anyway. So if you don't match it, it will just change and carry on.
But as you say, for sort of less experienced players, they can the combo timer will just continue to
exactly
the
with a lot of
bar will build over time itself.
Exactly, yeah. With most of our systems, we've always planned to have multiple ways to do things, and more importantly, make it so you can do it the way you want to do it. So if you don't want to do all this meta game or like dip into it at all, that's fine. You can just sort of AFK or not play it and just let it do its thing, and it'll charge slowly on its own.
You just got a quest complete there as well.
Yeah, that was that one I talked about before about killing all the larger NPCs. Those ones you asked me what they were at the start. These guys that stunned me.
Yeah.
So they're all dead now. So I got a quest for that. And this is the final boss, Flame Waker Vukan, who's got some. He's spawning three little flame chain warriors at the on intervals as well. They're dead. And you can see my combos back again, so I'm going to save that because he has 3 phases. Basically, every third of his health, he'll spawn some really big fire elementals, and they're quite dangerous. So that's a good place to save your combos.
Yeah.
And obviously, there's tons of interesting ways you can play these dungeons, and we're going to have high scores where you can run against your friends. So I can try beat your high score and stuff.
And of course you can increase your difficulty and stuff, can't you?
Exactly, that'll be ordered by difficulty, so that the hardest guy is at the top of the guy or girl is at the top of the leaderboards, and then how you build your character, how you're charging up combos can really make a difference to shaving seconds off the time. So there's lots of things to play with. I mean, there's basically tons of depth to all of this if you want to dip into it. And again, a lot of it is all of it is customizable, so you can opt in and out of different things.
So here come those big guys.
Yeah, I'm looking pretty healthy, but let's use a combo anyway. See, and because I've saved that, he basically we expect someone to take about 40 seconds to kill them.
Yeah.
So he actually eases off of you for about 40 seconds.
Yeah. So you've kind of got a bit of an advantage time over.
Yeah, I've got a bit of breathing room now. I can just sort of chill.
Something we actually haven't spoken about, which is the real basics, thinking about it, is movement and such within the game. So you've got a choice, haven't you, on how you want to control that?
Yeah, exactly. So we are favouring the default behaviour being tap to move, so I can just tap on the floor and Jax will run where I want, and if I press an ability, obviously he'll just target the nearest thing.
Yep.
You can drag to move, which is basically the same thing, but you just don't let go, and he'll just follow your finger. And then if people want a more traditional sort of joystick approach, there's a virtual joystick which shows a joystick in the bottom left here, and you can hold it like a pad, and play that way if you wish. But yeah, like I said, we're favouring tap to move at the moment. A lot of the mechanics are supported by that. It's a bit more smooth or enjoyable, like this combat pickup things, the thing that fly out of him. Like there, I'm picking up things that fly out of the NPCs, and that's that sort of favours tap to move a bit, because I'm always tapping in the screen somewhere. I'd have to move my thumb off of a joystick. But they still work. They still work as well with the joystick. It's just a comfort thing.
And it's just about offering options for people to play the way they want.
Exactly. Yeah. And it comes down to everything. Like we talked about talents and powers, combos, everything that everything that you can use should have an element of customization in it, and that isn't limited to combat and content. It comes down to fundamentals like movement as well. So hopefully something for everyone.
One thing, of course, we've been looking at here is this is a dungeon area, isn't it? So you're kind of following through this dungeon, aren't you? Kind of.
Yeah, you can see this has been a much more linear experience.
But that isn't the case throughout the entire game, is it?
Oh no, definitely not.
And hopefully on the next one of these playthroughs that we do, we'll look to maybe be able to show you another more open area. I don't know when that will be the case.
We're currently putting in loads of content like that, getting ready for obviously putting it out there, and we're currently plugging in loads and loads of quests, much more free form than your average mobile game, where you can run through a vast world. You can spend like hours in one zone alone, rather than this probably looks familiar to mobile gamers, where it's like a dungeon experience, then you go back to a hub and get a new mission or dungeon. But that's not the case with our game. I mean, we do have the dungeons like this, but the rest of the game is a very large, expansive world for people to explore, with all sorts of content, combat and non-combat. Just recently I've been working on some prototypes for our construction and building systems. I think I showed you those.
They're looking
some
awesome.
of the puzzles we're looking to roll out.
Hopefully we can show those at some point soon.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, yeah.
So there you go, guys, a little teaser as well. Chris is working on construction in-game.
Always working on something,
So this guy's taking a hell of a pounding.
Yeah, like, he's a bit of an endurance one. I mean, as we talked, I think we touched on it briefly, but there is a difficulty system.
Yeah.
By default, it sort of scales to be nice to you. So there should be some challenge if you miss boss attacks or like you don't plan your moves too well.
Yeah,
oh, look, there you go, bounce bomb, bounce. That bounced like 4 times there. So if you don't plan your moves too well, like you can see I am losing health, but it's not. I mean, I can talk to you. I can do other things while I'm playing the game. But if you are fully engaged in the thing, you can just crank the difficulty up a few notches. That'll make a drastic experience, a drastic challenge change. Like it will make it dramatically different and difficult. And like you said, more XP, more rewards, stuff like that.
So of course, right now as well, you've only had one combo that you could use as well, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly. That changes it up a lot as well. And there's a really tactical element. Like even with the one combo I used, it's like a big AOE, knocks everything out on the screen basically. So even with one, I still have to have an element of when do I want to use that? Like I only had one, and rather than just knock him out. I mean, I could use it right now to kill him. But I chose to use it earlier in the fight to kill out like 3 big guys that could have caused me a problem. Like they could have like killed me maybe. So I'm just going through the final bit now.
Yeah, he's almost done.
Yeah, should go soon. He's just gonna
get that bounce bomb.
Yeah, I think there's only one bounce that time.
Yeah.
We just go over here and cleave these guys. Nearly there. Back onto him. I'm going to stun him just to hopefully delay anything else he wants to spawn. One more bounce bomb.
He's
done. There we go.
So that's another
completed
mission.
the quest. Yeah, completed the quest we were talking about at the start.
And that's some... there you go.
Quest complete.
Cool, and obviously we saw you get some rewards there for completing that.
And I've unlocked a portal to leave the area. Let's see what I got. Ooh, okay, so that's the helmet I got. Apparently both are better than what I've got equipped.
That's
so
good then.
I got that one. So if we double tap that, you can see the green icon means it's better than what I've got equipped, and the blue one means I've got a lightstone that I could put in it to make it better.
Right, okay.
So you can see here, this one's saying that it's got a lightstone in it, so I'm going to remove that lightstone. And on the left here, I think it was pointing at my shield, no lightstone equipped, so I'm going to add that lightstone there. So that's now got this lightstone.
Okay, cool. So you've taken the lightstone from the hood.
The one I took out, yeah. So even though the item was an upgrade, the thing inside it was actually something I want to take over with me. And actually, so the thing, there we go, flame chain helmet and mounted, so that's even better.
So you just picked both of these up.
Yeah,
as well.
so I think that's that's something I got there as well.
So it's also the idea here is to make working out what equipment to wear.
I mean, it's
not overly complicated, but there's a lot of intricacy to it if you want that.
Exactly, yeah. So again, like we were saying, there's depth for those that want to dive into the stats. As you can see, I can just point that down.
Yeah.
If I tap on something here on the right, you can see here it just gives me a brief overview. It hasn't got firstly, if you don't want to get into the depth, there's no green arrow, so I know by looking at it, those two aren't as good as what I've got on, so I can completely ignore the rest of it. But if you did want to know, you can see down here, this has actually got better attack, but it lowers my defense, which is why we think it's not as good as the system. But if you really want to know, you can pop it up, and it gives you the exact numbers that you can check against the other one. You can see here, look, armor 288, and the other one 128. So it's obviously not as good.
Worse,
but again, like at a glance, no arrow, don't need to worry about it.
Awesome. If you guys have got any questions, anything you want to know about Fireforge or some of our other areas, or maybe something not even related to combat, something about quests or mini games or all that kind of stuff, other things we'll be hopefully showing off very soon, and we're going to aim, I think, in a few weeks' time to do another one of these little playthroughs of another area. Obviously, we don't want to show you the whole game in advance, but it's always nice to get an idea, especially when we can maybe look to show a more open area, something that involves a little bit more travelling around, picking up some quests.
Definitely.
So yeah, if you've got any of those questions, send them to us on Twitter, send them on Facebook, the forum, Reddit, Chris. Reddit, our favourite. So yeah, and of course, subscribe to this channel. Keep coming back for more and more Lightseekers videos. Thanks very much, Chris.
Thanks a lot. Cheers.
See you guys.
Bye.